Hello once again everyone, and welcome back to another video, a V8 Veterans Season 20 round number 7 track guide. This week we're at Imola, one of my personal favourites, especially now that they've sort of relaxed the off tracks, back to sort of where it used to be a couple of years ago, where you could really attack the curbs, use a lot of the curbing to take sort of like a shortcut. Which the supercar loves to do. So it's good that they've relaxed that now, so we're able to use a lot of the curbing through the two lots of chicanes and through a few of the other sections of the track to help take a little bit of a shortcut, but it also helps to rotate the car as well on a couple of occasions. So yeah, good fun. It's really good fun now, not really having to stress about getting that off track like we used to when we came to Imola, being how tight the off tracks were. So yeah, should make for some really good racing, which will be good to see come Thursday night. The setup is quite soft, so it does want to squat on the rear quite nicely under acceleration. If you go too hard on the front tyre, it will wash out and you will overheat your front tyres and wear them out too quick. So being nice and gentle on that steering with how soft the front of the car is very critical for your race strategies. At least it shouldn't be so much of a draft track this week. We should see a lot less of a draft train or a DRS train, which will be good. We should be able to see some good passing through quite a lot of the corners here. Makes for some great racing. So we'll head on track, we'll get stuck into the track guide, and we'll run you through a few little tricks that I like to do around Imola. Righto, so here we are on track at Imola. I've got my cat bugging me, but we will proceed. So you might hear her in the background yelling at me for her dinner. But anyway. So yeah, we're on track. Took me a little bit longer to get comfortable this week. I've been away go-karting, so retraining the brain into getting back used to driving on the sim compared to the go-kart does take a little bit of time to get used to, not having those real-life G-forces to sort of tell you what the vehicle is doing. Yeah, it takes a bit of time to get your mind back around what you're actually doing. But the setup was nice and easy to get used to, so that was a big help. The brake bias I'm using is 53. Found that quite comfortable. 52.8 is also quite nice. But yeah, I sort of stuck with that 53 and it was quite comfortable around the whole track. My best lap time for the night was a 1:41.353. Still probably another 10th in it, just cleaning up a few things and also getting used to being back on the sim compared to the go-kart. But a lot of grip out on track. The setup is nice and grippy, so there's a lot of time to be found out there by just fine-tuning how you're taking those curbs, how jumping a few of those little humps that they've got there to try and stop you from using the curbs. But yeah, good fun track. Setup is right nice, and it's also quite good on the tyres, as you can sort of see from my sort of initial running here where I was sort of retraining my brain. But yeah, we'll get stuck into the track guide now. I've done my usual slow out lap. I've run wide through like the last corner here to sort of open up the straight, longer, sort of try and get a longer run into it for a little bit more top speed. So you'll sort of see this happening in Scops or the Pro Series if we come to this track. Yeah, we'll try and open up this last corner. It's probably 0.01 of a second, but when you're looking for that in those top series, which Vets is becoming, you're looking for those fine margins. Anything you can do to get that little bit extra over your competition will definitely help. Oop. So yeah, as you can see, run it up and then get nice and close to this first curb, or first wall I should say. Run it along, and as we come up, we're on the limiter already, but we'll want to be braking at about the 200 meter. Bang down into third gear for this corner. Lots of curb. Straight over the top of these humps. Staying in third, into fourth to settle the rear and using as much exit as we want. It's critical to be nice and smooth through here. Nailing here and here. Keeping the car nice and settled as you go around the corners. Not having the rear kick out will be very crucial to your lap time. Into the next section. Braking about the 75 meter mark. Down one gear. Bit of curb. Down into third again. All the curb again. Using as much of this exit as we're allowed. Still can be quite tight with the off track here, so making sure you're keeping, you know, 2 tracks on the tarmac, 2 tyres I should say on the tarmac, so you don't get your off track, will be beneficial. Running up, braking at the 50 meter mark and down into second gear. Little bit of curb to help rotate again, and hard on the gas up the hill. Use a lot of the exit. We'll open up this next corner a little bit, sort of straighten up our run. Sort of just before we're getting to the 50 meter mark, we're braking down 2 gears into third. Little bit of curb, help rotate the car, hard on the power. It'll squat and drive off the corner there, which is quite nice. Braking at about the 50 meter mark, or just before for this corner. Down 1 gear, use the curb. Down another 2 gears into second. Little bit of curb, using all the exit curb we're allowed to, and then just a nice smooth run up to this final chicane. Braking at about the 75-80 meter mark. Down into second. Lots of the first curb, not as much as the second, and a nice straight exit off the corner. You'll take as much of the first curb as we can to minimize how much we use of this second one for a faster exit. We don't want to be bouncing over that second curb too much, we'll lose way too much lap time. Okay, we're coming down into the final sector. I'm staying in 5th on the limiter. As soon as the car's sort of around the corner and straight, I'm on the brakes. Down into second gear, using all the curb, using all the exit curb, more again, curb, and more curb. Short shift into third as we exit the corner. Not so much of a short shift, but shifting a little bit earlier than what you normally would on an exit, just so you're not hitting that limiter too early. You can sort of short shift into third a bit earlier, but that can produce understeer in the car, which will force you wide on this corner, overcook the front tyres a bit too early. So I like to stay in second and then shift a bit earlier on the exit. Then we'll just run up the gears and we'll hug against this wall, a little bit wide, sort of just to maximize, we're not holding the car too tight, and then up to the line. And there we have it, there's a lap of Imola. As I said, I love this track, it's good fun. I love it where you go to a track and you're allowed to just attack the curbs. Especially in this car, it's just so much fun. It's what the supercars were built to do. So yeah, I really enjoy it when we can actually attack these curbs the way that we just did. So we'll go on board now. I'll go quiet so you can have a look and listen from the cockpit perspective, and yeah, see if you pick up any more little tips from riding on board. And there we are, another track guide done for another week. As I've been saying, love the track. It's so much fun, and the setup really complements it well. Probably a little bit soft and bouncy for my liking, but still, it's very driver friendly, which is great. Another job well done there, People's Champion. But yeah, great setup, great track. Should produce some good racing on Thursday. Thursday night. Do be cautious. Lap 1, turn 1 through that chicane can be a bit of a bottleneck. So just be wary. People do like to make it 3-4 wide even through there, and can lead to a few incidents. But hopefully everyone's smart and just gets through there nice and clean, and there's no safety cars. But yeah, that being said, have fun this week. Hopefully you've all learnt something from the track guide. Please do like and share. Subscribe to all my socials if you are enjoying these track guides. It's greatly appreciated. Have fun. Look forward to watching all the action this week, and we'll see you next week for another track guide. Bye bye.